Welcome to the freedom culture. Are the BRICS nations looking into splitting the world in half by dropping the dollar? By these nations covering over 40% of the world's population, that's 3 out of 8 billion people. What happens when 40% just drops the dollar?
More countries are said to be interested in joining BRICS. The latest reports indicate that the following countries are ready to join the BRICS alliance.
And we must put an emphasis on the US dollar taking a loss, losing Saudi Arabia to the BRICS. This event could not be ignored.
Anybody that challenges the existence of this country and this kingdom, all of us, we are projects of jihad and martyrdom. That's my message to anybody that thinks that he can threaten us.
Saudi Arabia sells about 80% of its exported oil in dollars, just as it has since 1974, when it entered a deal with the Nixon administration to exclusively protect the U.S. interest in oil sales in return for military protection.
Petrodollar out of the equation, then a lot of other countries no longer need to hold as many dollars as they currently do. And what happens to those dollars? They're definitely putting downward pressure on the value of the dollar and is forcing us to live within our means,
The BRICS nation also established their own funding organization to substitute the World Bank. The World Bank is a lender to developing countries, but it's a rumor that they only lend to their favorite ones. So in response, the BRICS created the NDB, the New Development Bank, and they're looking to help fund the Belt and Road Initiative, which is China's plan to build infrastructure and trade routes across Europe, Asia, Africa, a lot of other places but here.
Yeah, building massive infrastructure in Africa. We're not talking, little bitty Chinese villages. We're talking 4-lane highways, skyscrapers, and putting all that infrastructure in place, all of the natural resources that are going on.
What you're talking about is something that's known as the Belt and Road Initiative, the BRI. And it's the idea that you can basically build a belt, a supply chain and resource belt all the way around the world, just like the old Silk Road. That puts
China building the largest infrastructure project in history to reshape the world order. China's Belt and Road Initiative, launched in 2013, ambitiously connects Asia, Europe, Latin America, and Africa with roads, railways, and ports. It aims to boost economic growth, regional cooperation, and China's global influence.
Belt and Road Initiative is a massive infrastructure project aimed at giving China a massive diplomatic foothold abroad. How massive? China has already invested in more than 150 countries and international organizations. That means that China likely sees the opportunity for future deals in their favor.
So there's clearly a brick wall dividing the globe right now. What happens when 40% of the planet finds no use of the dollar anymore?
Hyperinflation is when you issue more money to pay your debt. So you just keep printing money. So an excess of anything, in extremis, everything becomes worthless. So if you're thirsty, you've come out of the desert and somebody gives you a bottle of water, you'll pay pretty much anything for it. If somebody's there with 1 million bottles of water, what's a bottle worth to you? Almost nothing. Once you've had the first one, right? So anything in excess supply, just supply and demand. Too much supply of currency, the value goes down.